Audio test 1 2 3. Audio test 1 2 3.
I'm from a different time, young man.
Second half, they didn't throw on official time.
Test 1 2 3. Audio test 1 2 3.
Pass they threw pass interference. It was just kind of like. You're not good.
1 2 3. Audio test 1 2 3. Audio check. Audio check. Audio check. Audio check. This little mic right here is going right to my iPad.
Okay.
So it's live.
Okay.
So it's live right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Another free game. The senior night one was the best.
I think everybody's in here just giving up. They're gonna sing the So your party is celebrating.
Good evening. Before we get started, our seniors are going to get the night started with something special. So seniors, go ahead and stand up and let's get this thing rolling. How about everybody stand up? If you guys couldn't tell, on Thursdays before games, we do work on our singing every single week, and that would explain why that was so beautiful. I do want to thank you all for being here tonight. We want to respect your time and move through relatively quickly, but what we really want to do is celebrate the season we just had and celebrate these young men and all the hard work and accomplishments that they've put their blood, sweat, and tears into this football team, right? And it's really good to recognize them. I spoke with the boys in the hallway right before this and explained to them this is probably the last time that this collective group of young men will be together. And they've done a lot of special things together this year. And we'll have a new freshman class coming next year, a bunch of new faces, and it'll be different. And so we will always have the 2023 Fort Collins High School football team as something to look back at. And despite maybe not having the record that we all wanted to have, I have a lot of pride in this football team. I have a lot of pride in the fact that they showed up every single day and they fought. They got better as football players, but more importantly, they grew as young men. They adhered to our mission statement of becoming men of character. Men who do the right thing when no one's looking. Men who are willing to work hard for each other and work for something greater than themselves, and that's the beauty of football as a team sport. And I'm really excited to celebrate the season we had. I'm really excited about the future. And seniors, what you guys have done for the junior class, the sophomore class, and the freshman classes, you have set a foundation for them for success in the future by the way you've led. And I want to thank you, and let's give the seniors a round of applause. Briefly, before we get into the awards, I do want to thank a fair share of people, and I do want to bring one person up. But I'd like to thank the Booster Club. The Booster Club is an imperative group for us from not only raising funds for our football team, a sport that requires so much of it, but just being present, having meals for us after games, organizing tonight. Thank you to everyone that was a big factor in making tonight happen. I had no idea what this Walk of Champions was going to be like, the Gridiron Walk, but man, that was special. That was very, very special. Got the goosebumps rolling for me, and I really want to thank you all for that. The other people I want to thank outside of the players are the family members, the parents, the guardians, the aunts, the uncles, the grandparents, the siblings. This isn't possible without your support. What you do is not easy. And now that I know, having an almost 2-year-old daughter, I understand that parenting is very difficult at times. It's the best thing in the world. It's the greatest gift I've ever received, but it also comes with a lot of difficulties. And now that I'm in your shoes, thank you even more than I've ever expressed. The other people I would like to thank is Lance Elmore. This is now the 5th year, I believe, of Fort Collins High School football that we've had Lance around, and he has been nothing but amazing. He's just, if you haven't met Lance, he's one of the kindest human beings there is, but he's also one of the most talented human beings there are as well. If you have not seen his photography, he has such a talent and an art and a skill that we'll see pictures running through the band that next week, and it's as good as watching film, because he just knows where the ball is going to be. He's got steady fingers, and man, is it amazing to see, and it's something that we'll always cherish, being able to see those pictures from now till as long as those pictures last. So thank you, Lance. Another person I really like to thank is John McGuire, sitting right here. Despite John not having any of his children in the program this year, his son Nicky graduated last year and is playing at Mesa in Grand Junction. He still took the time out of his day to go to our football games and stream for those who could not attend in person. He's also in attendance tonight to stream this to those who are not in attendance, and that speaks volumes to who John McGuire is. The best athlete is still the sophomore, Laney, in the building. I'm still trying to get her to play quarterback. But, man, what we would do without John, I don't know, because what he delivers for our fans across the country. My sister in Massachusetts watches games every Friday, Thursday night, and it's a very special thing, and it's a gift that he's given us. So thank you, John. A few more. Elaine Holmes, flash those lights real quick just to give a little blink. That's Elaine Holmes up there. Not only is she running tonight with the lights and the audio, but she is our announcer at all our home football games. Her as well as Chris Stahl are a big part of making those games go smoothly. There she is up there waving, blowing kisses. She does so many things behind the scenes on top of being one of the best educators in our building, someone who I had the luck to be a student of when I was a student here. And it's amazing to be a colleague of hers and just see what kind of effort she puts in behind the scenes for the kids. So thank you so much, Ms. Holmes. I don't believe she is in attendance, but I would also really like to thank Sydney, our trainer. Yeah, let's give it up for her. We are so lucky to have someone who is as skilled in what she does, who is as knowledgeable as she is, and is someone who cares so deeply about our players. It is truly a wonderful blessing that we have to have Sydney involved in our program to keep our boys as healthy as can be and get them on the field as quick as can be as well. She deals with some of the most painful aspects of this game. The one piece that I hate the most, and that's when any of these guys get hurt or injured in any type of way, and she's the first person that has to deal with that. And so I have so much respect for what she does, and I would like to give her another applause. So I did mention the Booster Club, but one man in particular is Ryan Little that I'll be bringing up here right now. Ryan took on our Booster President role this year, which is a very big role. Again, something that a lot of things happen behind the scenes and couldn't have happened without Ryan. So let's give it up for Ryan.
Thank you all very much. Just a little story. I remember sitting in the audience this time last year. I had just been asked, hey, Ryan, maybe you can consider being president of the Booster Club. And I sort of, after giving a lot of thought, asked myself, well, how hard could it be, right? I should have asked, how rewarding can it be? Because it truly is an incredible opportunity, and it's a humbling experience to be here to support the coaches, to support these student athletes, and to support this community through this football program. I'm so grateful as, not as the president, but as a parent of a student athlete, and everything that these coaches have done, everything that the volunteers continue to do for this program is absolutely incredible. And I know we've already discussed and mentioned some of these names, but I'd like to go ahead and just simply thank a long list of volunteers real quickly for just the countless hours that they've put in to make this happen. It's truly, so much goes on behind the scenes. It's, could not be done without all of their help. To begin, Eddie Castaneda has been our treasurer. He ran our golf tournament, has done incredible things. Both he and Leanne Price, our secretary, have encouraged me personally, have kept things on the straight and narrow, and have done an absolutely incredible job of making things run behind the scenes. So, Monica Smith, she has overseen all of our merchandise this year. She's been at the games, hot or cold, standing there selling, making sure that we have great gear this season. So she has done an absolutely incredible job with that. In addition, oh, yes, please, thanks. I'm not sure if Katie Barron is here tonight, but as a past president and an incredible resource that she's done amazing things. She has spearheaded our game programs. That has been an interesting saga. And in addition to that, I'd like to thank Eric Gold as well, who he has also been a champion for us when it comes to our programs. And I'll just leave it at that at the moment. So thank you guys, appreciate it. Meal coordinators, Ginger Barrientos, absolutely incredible to help coordinate every meal, whether it's pre-game, post-game, doesn't matter. It takes a lot of efforts to help spearhead this. So Ginger, thank you very much for that. Community service and outreach. This is something that has been kind of important this year for us, that we are not only understanding the impact that we have on the field, but what else are we doing off the field? What are we doing in our community? Because we're representing more than just ourselves. We're representing our team, our school, and our entire community. And so the impact that we've had being able to offer community service, You see a number of the T-shirts being worn for those that have been able to go out there and serve. There's much more that these guys are going to learn, and having an opportunity to give back hopefully is just a small component of what we're learning here. So Trish Englehart and Colleen Warman with our school relations to impact that we've had in the schools. Thank you both very much for spearheading that as well. We have countless others, from Mary and Dan Jackson overseeing our senior night this year to Don and Stuart Hopper, who have overseen just a lot of things, whether it's cool graphics that we have for game day or seeing our scholarship opportunity that the Booster Club offers to graduating seniors. And also in particular, a special thanks for tonight. This banquet could not happen without the efforts of Martin Romero, so thank you, sir, very much. We also have just an army of volunteers. There's so many of you that have stepped in whenever necessary. We need an extra hand. We need to stay late after games. We need to haul food down to wherever we're playing. Just thank you all very much for everything you've done. Thank you for the impact that you've had through our fundraising efforts. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being great fans. And just a couple more, and I'll wrap these up. Thank you to our student athletes. Man, you've done a fantastic job. I can't speak as eloquently as Coach has to talk about the impact and the blood, sweat, and tears that you guys offered this season. So thank you much for your hard work. Thank you to the coaching staff for pushing them, making them be the best that they possibly can be. It takes countless hours for you guys to do that, and we're so grateful and appreciative of your hard work. Thank you to our faculty and administrators for supporting this program. Thank you for being there in the classroom, help pushing them to make sure that they get good grades, that they continue to be the best men off the field as well. Thank you to our community partners for making this happen. Thank you to our donors who have given incredible amounts of money and resources to make this season happen. And finally, special thanks to all the parents, family, and friends. We would not be here if it wasn't for you. And guys, let's stand up and let's give those guys that have supported you all season a big round of applause. Like I said, it is truly rewarding to be a part of this booster program, to support the coaches and to support the student athletes. I encourage you, especially freshmen, sophomore, even junior parents, to consider joining the Booster Club. It's a great, rewarding experience. We have a lot of opportunities, and I'd certainly shamelessly would be happy to speak with any of you afterwards and see if you want to be president in the future. Thank you.
All right, before we bring up the student athletes, the last group I did want to thank, because they're all going to be coming up here kind of one by one, is the coaching staff. I cannot thank you guys enough for the time and effort you put into this program. What you do for me personally is, I can't really put it to words. So seeing you guys every single day is a pleasure for me. It's something I love, going to work with you guys. I love battling through adversity with you. I know you make a lot of sacrifices with your own families, as do I with mine. But thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And lastly, to my beautiful wife, she would have been here tonight, but my daughter picked up an ear infection at daycare, so they were going to be here all spirited and having fun. But I would like to thank her as well. She is not here, but maybe a clap can get to. First group I want to bring up are the freshman coaches to talk a little bit about the season. We'll hand out some certificates, and we'll talk about the C-Team MVP as well as the C-Team PAC Award. As they're coming up, you will hear the word, the PAC Award, come up a couple of times here. And what that is is it's given to an athlete each year in every sport sponsored by the parent athletic club at each level of competition, who exhibits to his or her coach the following. Number one, work ethic. A player who, regardless of ability, works hard at every practice to become a better player and helps his or her teammates as well. A team player, a player who demonstrates by his or her actions that the team is more important than the individual statistics or accomplishments. Number three, a positive attitude. A player who always has a positive attitude and helps others maintain the same. And number four, a desire to win. A player who shows an intense competitive spirit. So when you hear about the pack player and when we start to talk about these individuals that win that, that is what it's from. Gentlemen?
We'll start with just bringing all the freshman guys up here. We'll start handing them out. All right, yeah, you guys can start handing them out. Yeah. You guys just start handing them out. You guys just split them up and start handing them out. All right, so Coach Jim kind of hit it right on the head with his introduction, but I just wanted to thank all the families, the boosters, all the parents that make this season possible for us, but also just thank these guys. Each and every day I've kind of been missing it more and more, not seeing them at practice lately. So now that the season's gone, I'm kind of realizing how much we might take that for granted. But I just wanted to express my appreciation for the players. Each and every one of you guys has shown a great commitment and dedication to the football program, laid a strong foundation for the future as you guys move in on your football careers. From the summer workouts to the freezing cold last game at Boulder, I watched this group of guys really come together and grow leaps and bounds. Their determination and passion for the game grew each week, and they really, really tremendously grew as a unit, but also as individuals and a team. We started out the season a little bit of a rough patch, but then ended up finishing things off 3-2 in conference play. Learned a lot about this group and the fact that they're tough, dedicated, and resilient. And there's a lot of potential standing up here, and we're excited to watch these guys grow for the next 3 years. So that's kind of all I've got to say about the freshman season. As far as our first award goes, we've got our MVP. This guy showed up in the summer, kind of played all over the field for us, and we didn't know where we were going to put him right away. We knew he was going to be a difference maker, but we didn't know exactly where. So we finally got him settled in as the season kind of started off, and he was just a tremendous leader for us, both on and off the field, not just vocally, but also just with his actions, constantly doing the right thing. But at times he really carried our offense. He was kind of a staple on our defense as well. We just had to have this guy on the field as much as we could. He helped us on nearly every single special teams, and at times in the year he'd have to come up and say, "Hey, coach, I'm going to need a breather. I'm going to have to take this one off." So can't really say enough good about this guy, and I'm excited to see where things take him in his football career. But Vicente Romero, freshman MVP.
All right, I'm going to give out the Pack Award. Now, this team, like Coach Storo said, is filled with tons of talent. And it's kind of sad that we can only pick 2 awards just because of the amount of student athletes that we have on here that are just tremendous kids, hardworking, dedicated, and just a great group of guys. Again, when they get together, quiet as they are now on the field, they're pretty rowdy, and they're fun. They're fun to be around. This individual in particular, though, the coaches and I kind of got together, and this was someone who did stand out a little bit on and off the field for what he did, his actions, his character. Not only does he stand out in the team just because of not just his high size or his hair color, but he's just a great person who you can kind of put anywhere. Hey, we need someone to sub in for you. He was there. Hey, can you help someone else out with this technique? He was there. He was willing to kind of do what he needed to do, and whether it was something that some people didn't agree with, he was willing to do it for the team. And I can't say enough about this student. His name's Cam Smith.
Go.
All right, your freshman team.
All right, the next group I would like to bring up are the JV coaches, as well as the JV team. Go ahead and come up on the stage.
No, he's missing out. All right, so me and Coach Byers had the unique opportunity. We got to level up with the boys, if you would. We coached the freshman team last year. Now we get to coach these boys as they're sophomores. Love the opportunity to get to watch them grow. I was just saying as I was sitting here, it looks like they've already grown since practice has ended. It's getting huge. Didn't have the greatest of seasons, but we were in every single football game. The boys always played hard. One of the things I always praise them for is the fact that they wouldn't quit. No matter how bad the score got, no matter how rough the game got, they kept fighting, they kept playing. And we got to see that last game of the year. We had a snowy game down in Lutheran, able to pull that game out last minute of the game, was it? Yeah, pull that out in the last minute, right? So that was very impressive and very nice to see. I'm going to let Dan do our MVP.
And just to echo what Coach said, just really proud of all you guys. Thank you for all the hard work you guys put in this year, right? It's awesome to coach a group of guys that listens and pays attention and is coachable. You guys grew so much. That last game of the season was amazing. As Coach said, both he and I got to coach a lot of these guys now for our second year. And our JV most valuable player was a guy that we coached last year, and I think both of us weren't surprised to see some of the plays that he made because we just knew he was talented from everything he did last year. But the first day of practice, he came up to me and asked, could I get in on defense? Could I play linebacker? I could play safety. I just want to play. And that really is what playing JV football is all about. You get to play the game, and you get better because you get reps. And you get out there, and guys like that, that translates. And this is a great example of a guy, the 8th game of the season or 7th game of the season, he broke his hand, and he came out with a cast on and covered up. Literally the day after he got a cast on, interception for a touchdown. I think he had another touchdown in that game. Final game of the season, didn't drop a single pass, 2 touchdown receptions, and then the game-winning pick 6. Kyrie Kincaid, our JV most valuable player.
Okay, so I got the Pack Award winner. The Pack Award for me is just the guy, right? Not necessarily the guy with the most talent, but just the guy that stands out the most, the guy that's working the hardest, the guy that's making his teammates better, the guy that's making an impact on the field. And this guy did it every single game. Every single game. It didn't matter what we asked him to do. He's a great athlete. He could play any position on the field. Thankfully, though, we had him as a quarterback. So our Pack Award winner for JV, Griffin Campion.
Let's give it up for the JV team. All right, before we get to the varsity team presentations, there is one more piece with the Booster Club that they do that is so special, and that is award scholarship money to a couple of the individuals on our football team who go through the process of writing an essay. The cool thing this year about it is this isn't just a scholarship for college necessarily. You know, one thing I made a mistake of in my younger years as a coach, as a teacher, was I would ask individuals in the classroom or on the team, and I'd say, where are you going to college next year? And as I started to get a lot of responses, I understood that, you know, it's not necessarily the end goal for everybody. A lot of guys want to go to trade school, go into fire, go to military, go straight in the working force. And what's special about this scholarship is these two individuals that won it this year are going to be able to use it to what they need to accomplish their future goals. We'll talk more about these two individuals as the night goes on, but very proud and excited to award the College Scholarship Future Scholarship Award winners, Michael Merriweather and Trenton Price. All right, a very special three people here too that we have not yet thanked, but we're going to bring up on stage to award. If Hayden, Ari, and Carson, if you guys could come up on stage, that would be wonderful. These three wonderful young adults are so imperative to the success of a football team. I've spoke a lot about how people do things behind the scenes that make such a big difference for a team. No matter what you're in, if it's a business or a team or wherever you are, every single person in that program plays a huge factor in the success of that team or that business or that family or whatever it might be. And these three do so many thankless jobs for us, from filling up water every day, making sure that the equipment is laid out. They set up the equipment for games. When you need water right at the last second during a timeout, they're sprinting out there. The stuff that these three do every single day is just the example of what hard work is. Sometimes it's thankless. We try to thank you as much as we can, but it's not an easy job. It's kind of a dirty job. And I respect you three so much for what you do on a day-to-day basis. And anytime we have success as a team, you are a huge part of that. So we'd like to award these three with some letters as a managers. So they'll get a football pin and a manager pin. But let's give it up for these three and thank them for their services. So prior to bringing up some of the position coaches to talk about the players that lettered this year, one thing you will hear about is a number of individuals getting first team academic All-State as well as honorable All-State mentions. This is something that is a high priority for us. When I speak in a parent meeting before the year, I talk about the priorities. I talk about your health, your family, and if you have faith, that being your top priority. But number 2, prior to number 3, which is football or any other extracurricular, that number 2 is your academics. And so it's a higher priority for us, and it brings me great pride that we had so many individuals on our football team win these first team academic all-state honors as well as honorable all-state academic honors. And what that criteria is, just so you know, and we don't have to explain it each time, is that for the first team, it has to be a 3.6 or higher cumulative GPA. They must be a minimum junior in school. They must be a letter winner or equivalent in the activity nominated and must be a participant in a CHASA sanctioned activity. The honorable mention is all the same, must be a junior, must letter, but they also have to have a 3.3 to a 3.59 cumulative GPA. So when you do hear about that, that is the accomplishment that they have received. So, coaches, we're going to start with Mr. James Tarver and the wide receivers.
Do you have the list, or do I have to read them? Oh, there.
Then do mention.
Yes, I can read that. All right. Unlike Coach M, who's still relatively new to this, the first person I want to thank is my wife. I'm not going to. She is actually here tonight. I just finished, guys, my 22nd year as a high school football coach, and we've been together for all of them. So that's a lot of time away. It's probably why the marriage is still going strong, but she's pretty damn awesome. And I want to thank her for everything. I also want to thank my 11-year-old son, who's here tonight as well. He has several friends on this team. So I want to thank Cade for that. One of the hardest things as a coach when you have little kids, and Coach M does know this, is there's a lot of times, especially when they're little, when you miss putting them to bed and things like that. You don't get those days back. But it's pretty special now that he's old enough. He's friends with Rios and Trendon and these guys. DeMarco and Joe doesn't like him that much, but he acts like he does. And so it's been pretty cool to see him grow up and get to know some of these guys. I'd like to thank Mr. John McGuire as well. My mom, who is 75, has sort of figured out how to get to the feed. I think she thinks it's somewhere different every week, but it's pretty cool for her to be able to turn it on and act like she can see Jackson, even though I don't know if she can. So thank you, John, for that. I want to thank all the coaches. This is a great group of guys to come out and be with every day. And parents, I can assure you this, these guys care about all of our kids, and not just as football players, but more as young men, and making sure they're doing the right thing and growing up into the awesome people they are. So thanks to you guys. I wouldn't want my son coached by any other group of people. I want to thank the parents for all your support. I want to thank the kids for making practice fun, even though, as Mason's here, right? Even though an old Whistly has to come out and we got to start practice over. That's Mason's least favorite thing because that means more running. But I want to thank you guys, and that's that. The receivers, they're an interesting group. One of the cool things that I've got to do with these guys is every Tuesday we have lunch meetings where we watch tape and we watch the opponents and we laugh and we point out funny things we see, like someone running a route and falling down. We always find fun stuff, but they're always in there and they're giggling. And then there's a few guys who think they're receivers, like Jack, who come in, and like Joel, who show up for some reason. So that was really fun, guys. So I thank you for that. And then also, one of the coolest things about these guys, we'd stay after practice sometimes and throw with the quarterbacks and those guys. And I remember Todd Bandauer one day turned to me before the Boulder week. We were 1-8, and we're watching. I mean, these guys are chucking balls downfield, and they're going all out, and they're going crazy, and they're having fun and laughing. And he goes, "It is awesome how much fun these kids are having, despite being 1-8." And I said, sometimes that doesn't matter. A lot of these kids love football and they love being here, and it's awesome, for staying after and all that. So thank you to everybody here. And let's go ahead and go on. So I need Evan Cadrich, if he's here. Sol Preston, if he's here. My kid, if he's here. He's here. Justin Granados, Elias Levi, Joe Cottingham, and Trenton Price. If you guys will come up here. Most of them are. I know he's here. He dressed up. So I do not see Evan Cadrich, or as we lovingly call him, the silent assassin. He played quite a bit of special teams and got a taste of returning kickoffs against Columbine, which probably wasn't that much fun for him. But he's going to be a heck of a player. If you guys came to the JV games, you saw him all over the place. So he did earn his first letter this year. And that's Evan Cadrich. He's not here. Another guy that's not here that earned his first letter is Sol Preston, and Sol is a tough little dude. He dealt with a lot of injuries this year. And one thing that was cool about him was just seeing him try to find any way to get on the field. He offered to switch positions. He jumped in whenever we could. And I'm again glad he transferred over from Rocky after his freshman year, so we got him for one more year. And Sol was first team academic All-State, so congratulations to him. So as I mentioned, this is year 22. This is year 10 at Collins for me. And, I've been a lot of things. I've been a freshman coach. I've been a receivers coach. I've been a quarterbacks coach. I've been a coordinator at 2 different schools. I've been on really, really good teams. I've been on really, really bad teams. Probably the hardest thing to do in all of that, honestly, is coach your own kid. Especially when you're quite a bit different. But they're giggling, but the thing about Jackson, I want him to know is how proud of him I am. How proud I am to be his dad. How proud I am to see him growing into who he's growing into. And we're not the most emotional family sometimes, so that's that. In my opinion, he doesn't even know how to react. I'm trying to give him compliments. In my opinion, there's not a junior on this in our program that's improved more from day one to day today. He actually just got here because he was going through a speed training deal in Windsor. He got in, got his first varsity catch against Fairview, promptly ran out of bounds with a running clock. But, live and learn. So there's that. But he did a great job all year as our holder. And as John McGuire, hey, if you watched the Broncos game last week, you know how important that is. Okay? Not the one when they beat the Chiefs, Coach Butch, but the one after that. He did a great job. And it's something, guys, that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. There's a lot of pressure on you to get the job done. Okay? And obviously the coolest moment for a lot of these seniors was finishing off that Fossil Ridge game with a win. And, that was pretty fun. So, to Jackson, I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm excited I get to coach you again. Jackson was naturally first-team academic All-State because he's his mom's kid. His dad just teaches math. He's not that smart. But just that, and I'm so excited to see where he goes from here. But we got one more year together, and I'm excited for that. Jackson Tarver. All right, next guy, my last junior that I'm going to talk about is up here smiling because pretty soon he gets to play basketball against 2A kids. Okay, which if you guys watch this kid play against 5A kids, that's not really fair. Young guys, you want to watch the right way to play football, number one's the guy to watch. This dude goes, and he goes, and he goes. And during our receiver meetings, because he doesn't go to school here, so he's not with us at lunch, we would talk about blocking a lot and the importance of blocking throughout the play because the first guy trying to make a tackle was not going to bring this kid down. The coolest moment, Coach Yem said over the headset, and I noticed it too, against Fossil Ridge, pretty much every time this guy received a kickoff, unless it was a rubber football, there was a good chance he was going to take it back. The first kickoff in the opening half, the second half against Fossil, Levi fumbled. And Levi's usually a pretty smiley, easygoing guy. And he had this look in his eye like something about to happen here. And from that point on, dude went nuts. Yeah, and you guys all saw it. All right. There is not a dude who works harder, who plays harder, okay, who plays harder for his teammates than this guy right here. I mean, honestly, he's just an absolute stud. And we're lucky he comes over from Heritage Christian, chose to play football here because he could have played anywhere. I'm super, super excited we got him back next year. He was the state's 5A leader in kick return yards, despite what you might read on Twitter from Marcus Mosier. Also, again, in 22 years of coaching, I don't think I've seen someone bring back 3 kickoffs. He actually led our conference in receptions this year, was 4th in yards in our conference. Scored touchdowns 3 different ways. He was a first-team all-conference selection, and that is voted on by the opposing coaches, and also a first-team academic all-state kid, and that's Levi Hermson. All right, my first senior I'm going to talk about is consistently one of our best dressed, and he's looking good today with his glasses and his earrings and all that, and he's smiling now because you got better hair than his brother. What do you guys think? Yeah? Actually, what's cool about the Granados twins is this is the first year they actually didn't have the same haircut. Yeah, I couldn't tell them apart for a while, and they'd go, Coach, we just got our haircut, and they had the same haircut. It's like, I'm not that good. Okay, so Justin and Jordan, I'll include you in this, but Justin and Jordan, man, do these guys love football. They love coming out, throwing the ball around, trying to catch everything one-handed. Okay, but they're the first guys on the field, and they're the last guys to leave it. And both of these kids worked their butts off to get where they're at. And you know, I'm so proud of both these guys. I'm really proud of Justin. You know, he's more offensive guy, but you know, again, from where Justin was at as a freshman to where he's at now, just shows how much work and how much time he's put into this. I'm really proud of him. I'm going to miss him. He's a great kid, and thank you again, Justin Granados. Okay, my next guy is the guy who thinks he's the best dressed, and he'll tell you about it. He's already smiling too. Yeah, although no, it's not Joe. I would never associate best dressing well with Joe. Weren't you supposed to wear purple? Exactly. Our next guy, I think the real sign of what this guy means to the team and to his friends was when he scored our last touchdown of the season against Boulder. You know, for Elias, a lot of work and a lot of everything to get, again, where he's at today. Transferred over from Loveland after his freshman year, so we've had him for 3 years. And, you know, when he got in the end zone there against Boulder, everybody went crazy, okay? Sidelines went crazy. Players went crazy. I heard the crowd went crazy, okay? And I'm not kidding about this. You'll like this one. I had like 3 or 4 girls at school come up on Monday and was like, hey, Miss Tarver, did you see Elias score? I'm like, no, I wasn't there. So he's got that going for him too. But he's a guy who, again, has worked all summer on the field, off the field. Did have to make him take off his glasses. He was trying to be a pooter kid in 7-on-7. He wanted to try to wear those, and that wasn't going to work here. But a lot of fun. So much fun coaching this kid. He did a great job. Again, I'm really, really proud of him. And again, where he's got from the day he walked in the door to now is amazing. Super excited for wherever he goes in the future. And if he finds a spot to play, that'd be awesome. But I'm going to miss him a lot. Elias Torres. My next guy is a kid who I've actually known before he got to high school. This kid used to come to our youth camp. And the funniest thing about him, and we joke about it now because he's not this way anyway, but in middle school, he was a little chubby. And used to come to the youth camp wearing these glasses and goggles and then just getting after it. And getting after it, I think, is the best way to describe this guy. I had him in class twice, wrote him a letter of rec, which I'm excited to see where he ends up going. And And again, work, work, work. That's why we call him top heavy. This dude wants to block. He wants to catch the ball. He returned punts for us this year. And again, he's a guy who's been on our varsity team for 4 seasons. Caught his first pass when we played in the spring during the COVID year, which is kind of cool. I mean, anytime your first reception's from Easy Campos, that's always kind of cool. So he got that. Not sure where he's going to go. I hope he finds somewhere to play football because he's a hell of a player. I'm going to miss him a lot. As his teacher, really got to know him, guys, for 2 years. Some of you guys could learn a lesson from his handwriting because it's beautiful. DeMarco. So, again, it's been my pleasure to coach him, and I'm just so proud of him, and I'm going to miss him a ton. That is our man, top heavy, Trenton Price. I did forget to mention Trenton Price was another first-team academic All-State. Oh, cowbells. And my last guy, okay, the anime king himself. Joe and I have had a lot of fun working together. He might be the only kid or person in this whole auditorium or whatever you call it that owns a katana. Okay, I don't know if we're supposed to talk about that, but we are. Okay, dude's got a weapon. Joe's one of those guys. He's still not as much anymore because he can finally drive, but he spent a lot of days in my room at lunch, and not just in receiver meetings, but just with some of the dudes that hang out in there. Mason trying to eat all the thing, anything falls on the floor, Mason's in there to clean up. So Joe spent a lot of time with Joe, and I've gotten to know Joe really well. And bottom line, Joe's just a cool kid. He is a cool guy, and he's funny. I don't think he even means to be funny sometimes, but it's funny. He's awesome, man. I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss when he gets angry, and we call him Angry Joe, and then he gets more mad. I'm gonna miss when he's Happy Joe, and we ask him why he's not angry. I'm gonna miss him saying he's always open. Okay, even though he wasn't always open. I'm gonna miss him, just being him. And he's another guy who has put in a ton of work. Been a three-sport athlete. He was a first-team all-conference selection by the opposing coaches. Also, and this was an awesome one, first-team academic All-State. He has committed to play football at Sioux Falls University just this week. Again, we're going to miss him a ton. He's accomplished so many things. Led our team in receiving yards and touchdowns. He was, I believe, 3rd in the conference in receptions, 2nd in touchdowns. And again, obviously the respect from opposing coaches. So that was that. But again, great kid. I'm going to miss him a ton. I'm rooting for him wherever he ends up. And he's got a great future ahead of him. Joe Cottingham. Thank you.
All right, we are ahead of pace. We even have Tarver behind us, and we are still ahead of pace. All right. Next up, I'm going to bring up our tight ends coach, Dalton Thackrell.
I want to thank Coach Yem for scheduling me to follow Tarv's open mic night. Appreciate that as always. I've had the privilege of coaching tight ends here for the last 3 years. I know Fort Collins has had a long legacy of good tight ends, and we continue to carry that tradition while I've been here the last 3 years. So I want to bring DeMarco and Van up as our 2-letter winners at tight end this year. Now, playing tight end, especially in this offense, requires a lot. You got to be smart, you got to be physical, you got to be athletic, and you got to know what's going on every part of the field, run game, pass game, defensive-wise. And these two this year both took it on, were students of the game, came to practice ready to learn, ask questions. Talking about Van here, Coach Sheed last year was putting a bug in my ear that there is a ball player coming up, a tight end who's going to continue that legacy, and he was spot on. I know Van didn't get as much playing time this year as he wanted, but I mean, it's his for the taking coming. He's a tremendous athlete. He's got all the tools, wants to get better. Need to get him to talk more. We'll work on that, but he's got everything you need to be a great tight end, and he's going to develop as long as he puts in the work. So, Van, congrats on lettering, man. DeMarco, I've coached him for 3 years. Got him as a young sophomore with a couple good tight ends in front of him. And one thing about DeMarco, he's going to bring it every day. He wants to be the best. He's a competitive guy just at his heart and his soul. One of the things I'm going to miss the most about DeMarco is texts after games, texts after practice. What can I do to get better? As a coach, all you want is somebody who cares. And he cares every single day to be better. It showed from where he was as a sophomore to where he finished as a senior. Athletically, fundamentally, smarts for the game. He has all the intangible tools. This is just the beginning for DeMarco. I hope you get the opportunity. Any school would be lucky to have him, but even after football, he's going to do great things in life just because of who he is, how he carries himself, and the type of leader that he is. And don't want to forget, second team all conference, and more importantly, first team all state academic. DeMarco Ferguson.
All right, I'm going to bring up some O linemen here tonight. Coach Bennett was unfortunately not able to make it because he's out of town, but he did leave some notes, and I'll add some stuff. So if I could have Mason Bandauer, Barrett Dvorak, Nehemiah, Felix, Ben Hopper, Ben Rios, and Mike Merriweather, if you guys could come up. All right, sorry about that. So this is a note from Coach Bennett. He said, overall, tell them how grateful I am that I get to come to practice every day with a group of guys that work as a unit and put in the work. They have a work ethic that will carry them far. He's going to start with Mason Bandauer. One thing with Mason that we'll start with is he is a first-team all-conference winner as a sophomore. So let's give it up for him on that. I would also like to add that it is going to be a need for him to continue to work hard, but he did just receive his first Division I football offer from the Colorado State University just a couple weeks ago. So let's give him up for that too. Coach Bennett wanted to say, you will do great things if you stay the course. I'm excited to see what the next 2 years hold. Congratulations, Mason. Another sophomore we had starting on the line was Barrett Dvorak. Yeah. I can speak for Barrett. He was someone that we were so excited for to be moving up from the freshman team last year. Despite some size difference in height that you can see up here, he delivers all the explosion and more with the heart he has. He's got one of the biggest hearts on this football team. He's one of the most intelligent guys, and it takes one of the most intelligent guys to play center. The center position is something that is difficult to do. It requires you to understand the offense just as well as the quarterback, and he's kind of a second coach on the field. From Coach Bennett, Barrett took on a lot for a sophomore to play center, but you handled it great. You're a very smart dude who has a bright future. Congratulations. Nehemiah is not here, but Coach Bennett wanted to say he did a great job being our sixth man and is always ready and willing to jump in. Nehemiah is one of those guys that's a first on the field, last off, incredibly hard worker, very fiery spirit. Sometimes can take it a little too far sometimes, so if we can control that, I do think he's going to be a great contributor to our football team next year. Nehemiah, we are so excited to see what the future has in store for you. So congratulations, Nehemiah. Felix, this is from Coach Bennett. You are the jumbo set specialist. Felix was hungry to learn about the game and was always ready to jump in for the team. And I can talk to that too, that when we get into a jumbo set personnel, we bring on an extra lineman. And as a coaching staff, you kind of talk about who's that extra guy you're going to bring in to bring power to the game. Sometimes you talk about bringing in an extra tight end or an extra fullback, getting a guy that plays a little bit wider outside. But it was a no-brainer to have Felix go out there, and whenever his name was called to get out on the field, he was a big contributor to the success we had offensively. He does it with a sweet scar on his hand, and we're really excited to see what Felix does during the offseason and what he turns into next year as a senior. So let's give it up for Felix. Ben Hopper, to start off, is an honorable mention, academic all-state winner. Congratulations. From Coach Bennett, he took a big step from last year and is a great steady part of what makes the O-line work. What the O-line is to a football team is that dirty work, the behind the scenes that we've talked about. It's not the guys that get all the glory, but they're the guys that help make the glory happen. And it's always a unit. And this has been a very special unit. We're really excited to see what this unit has in store for us next year. But Ben's not one of those guys that's going to talk very much, but he's going to deliver everything you want from a football player with actions. So congratulations, Ben. Ben Rios from Coach Bennett. He physically grew into his body and started really moving people around. I cannot wait to see what next year holds for him. Ben is one of those guys where when we sing the alma mater at the beginning of the banquet next year, it will sound just a little bit more beautiful because of Ben Rios. But Ben is a guy that, unlike the other Ben on the opposite side of the line, or same side of the line at times, but he has a little bit more of a voice to him. He has a little bit more of those words of leadership, that energy that a team needs. And it's great to have a mix of the quiet guys. It's great to have the guys that will actually be vocal and lead that way. Ben does great things for us in this school. He's in the choir. He's the heavyweight wrestler for us. We're excited to see what kind of success he has coming into this season as a junior. And we're really excited to see how much more impactful he can make our offensive line next year as he continues to grow and gets better day in and day out. Congratulations, Ben. And last but not least up here, we have Michael Merriweather. He is a first-team academic all-state winner. This is from Coach Bennett. Mike took on a very hard job being the only senior and a junior transfer, but he did a great job being a guy that people could count on and really brought the group together. I will miss coaching him and know whatever is next for him, he will do great things. And I can back that up with Mike is one of those glue guys on a football team, a guy that will make you laugh, but will make you work too, a guy that wants to win and just wants the team to do better. He's very unselfish. I was really happy over the summer. I was able to help a few of our individuals help a member in our community move homes. And I got to spend a lot of time with Mike for a couple of days through that and get to know him better. and just learned a lot about who he is, not just as a football player, but as a young man. And I'm really excited to see what kind of endeavors he has in the future, because he's incredibly intelligent. He's incredibly kind. He's hilarious. And he's just somebody that lights up a room when he walks in. We are so excited about what the offensive line is going to bring us next year. We're so sad that we're going to lose one very big piece of that puzzle, and that's Mike Merriweather. But Mike, as we said to the seniors before, you've helped build that foundation for what is arguably going to be one of our position groups that people will be looking at as one of the best in the state. And a lot of that was from the leadership and the foundation you set for this group. So thank you and congratulations. All right, I'm going to bring up Coach Tom Cooper for the defensive line, but I am going to just send a quick message. This is from Coach Kransky, who also could not make it tonight. Coach Kransky said, "I am unfortunately not able to attend our football banquet. I will be traveling to Pittsburgh to attend the celebration of life for my son-in-law, Eric, that we sadly lost just a few weeks ago. To you seniors, thank you for your hard work and your dedication to the football program and to your school. You have demonstrated that each of you has potential to do great things in the future. To Quincy and Aaron, I greatly enjoyed our 3 years together. Aaron, you are undersized, but you fought like a warrior. Quincy, you got serious about football and became a good leader and a very good football player. Karsten, the raging bull, if only you could have played 3 years and could have stayed healthy, who knows where you would be playing next year. The underclassmen, the degree of success that we have next year depends on how hard you work in the weight room and in off-season drills now. Pay the price now to have a great team in the fall. I hope each of you will join with me in saying, watch out, Fossil, Pooter, Rocky, and the rest of our opponents. The Lambkins are coming after you." Coach Kransky. And now Tom Cooper, our defensive line coach.
JP? Where's JP? He didn't want to come? Oh, okay. Still put your hands in your pockets. Well, we've got a small group here, and it's tough when you only let 5 defensive linemen. But we've got some tough kids, and I just want to take a few minutes to talk about each one of them. Luke Little's our sophomore, new to the defensive line. He started the year at end, moved to tackle in the middle of the season, and had a lot more success as a tackle than as a defensive end. Was able to move in and get a lot of playing time. Luke's a very strong player, especially for a sophomore. Was able to use his speed and quickness, hard work to be a good player for us. Luke's a wrestler. Don't lose too much weight. With a lot of work in the weight room, become a much stronger player and be a big help to us next year. Luke Little, our sophomore. All right, JP's not here. JP Straubing was another new defensive lineman that, like Luke, started at end, moved to tackle. Another undersized guy that's real strong. Looking for him to do great things. Jacob Koskry. Jacob got off to a slow start because of an off-season ankle injury. But Jacob progressed and became a varsity player about the midseason. Jacob's got great size and a good sense for the ball. An illness late in the season slowed him down, but he's got great potential to be the middle plugger for us next year. Big winner in the weight room will help him accomplish his goals. Our seniors, Karsten. Karsten's a senior, but it's kind of like a first-year player. He returned to us in his senior season after missing his junior year due to injury. He moved in and immediately helped us inside. He's a big, strong young man with a little bit of an attitude. Perfect for a defensive tackle. He took up a lot of space, did a lot of good things for us. And if I'm not mistaken, this senior has plans to become a wildland firefighter. So congratulations. Aaron, returning starter, been playing lights out for several years here. He's been a mainstay for us all season as a defensive end. Not likely to get any words out of him. He's kind of the strong, silent type who leads with his actions. Aaron was great at keeping contained. He became very effective with our dent technique and made a lot of pulling tackles. Sad they were coming his way. Every game, Aaron had to line up across from guys that were significantly bigger than he was, and it never fazed him. Congratulations, Aaron. And Quincy. Quincy is not the strong, silent type. Another returning starter who's done great things here at Fort Collins High School. He actually played a little bit of tackle at the beginning of the year. And he moved back out to end, finished the season, had a great end of the season playing in, did a great job with contain, also with his dent technique and working on offensive tackles as they're pulling. And Quincy took on every assignment we gave him. We moved him around a little bit to make sure he was up against some of the better players on the other teams, and he didn't ever have any qualms about it. And Quincy was voted first team all-conference at defensive end.
All right, next up we have our linebackers coach and special teams coordinator, Jack Grauberger.
Linebacker and special teams letter winners. Can I get Sam Englehart, Evan Moore, Porter Park, Andre Rose, Caden Souders, Gavin Brinkman, Lincoln Worthen, and Tolly. Where are we? Lincoln's not here. Okay. First, I'll start with Sam Englehart. There's a lot of things I like about Sam. He's tough. He's physical. He's emotional. He dealt with some injury this year. I just can't wait to see him develop as a player, and he's going to be such a great player for us down the road. Sam Englehart. Let's see here. Porter Park. Porter Park, frankly, was probably a kid who wasn't ready to play varsity football this year. And we threw him in here, and he got let me finish. He got better and better, and that was because of him. He constantly asked questions. He practiced hard, and by the end of the season, he was a solidified varsity player. And there's no doubt in my mind down the road that he's going to be an all-conference type of player for the Lambkins. So I'm super excited about Porter. Caden Souders. Caden is a really special athlete. What's the stat, Bush? 5th in the state in something. Fifth in the conference in tackles as a sophomore. And it's always a little bit frightening when your starting Mike linebacker is riding his bike to practice. But he became a solidified leader. I had to push him. I want to coach him hard because he has such a high ceiling in this game. Such a high ceiling. Caden Souders, as a sophomore, was also second team all-conference. So congrats to Caden. Gavin Brinkman. Gavin is just the ultimate team guy. He added great depth at linebacker. He was our long snapper as well. He was on every single special teams, gave us great effort every single day. A quick story about Gavin. Before the Cherokee Trail game, we're watching the long snapper, and we're watching their operation time, and it was pretty slow, and he comes up to me and said, "Coach, I can block one." We all watched that game, and he calls his shot and goes and blocks one, and puts our offense in a great position to score. So I'm really excited for what Gavin's going to bring to this team next year, and he's a great Lambkin. The last one here is Tali Savit. Sorry, Tali. Man, I'm gonna miss Tali so much. Whether he did it intentionally or not, he made me laugh every single day. He's incredibly bright, and he really is first team academic All-State. So don't let his calm demeanor fool you. But Tali came back from an ACL tear pretty quickly, and that's a testament to his hard work. You know, he was always trying to get in the game. He got in on special teams, made some really key blocks on kick return. He's physical. He likes to hit. Frankly, out of, physicality standpoint, he kind of set the tone for us as linebackers. So, man, I'm going to miss Tali so much. I don't know, you're going to study psychology and marine biology. So he's going to learn how to talk to fish. So excited for Tali. Tali, I'm going to miss you. And then our three other letter winners who could not be here tonight are Evan Moore, Andre Rose, and Lincoln Worthen. So very proud of this group and very excited to see what they'll do in the future. Thank you.
All right, next up, we're going to bring up Coach Sheed and our running backs.
Okay, so let me get Jack, Oliver, Nick, Kevin, and Gerardo on the stage. Front center. All right, so this is my second year with the program. This is my first year coaching the running backs. It's a special treat for me when I get to coach at my alma mater and coach the position that I played at my alma mater. So I think it's pretty cool, and I got a really, really special group of backs. They told me when the season started that I only had one guy. We got about maybe 2 practices in the camp, and I went to Yim, and I was like, I could start any of these guys. And that truly was the truth. Any of them could have started, but unfortunately, we only got one football. All right? So, first guy, Oliver. Oliver's one of the guys, he transferred in a little bit late, so he didn't get to spend camp with us. But he came in, was a big part of our jumbo package, as you can probably see. Yeah, pretty big kid. Kid runs like a tank, man. I'm really, really excited to see what you can do with this program and how you can help us win some football games next year, all right? Oliver. All right. We'll go with Nick Arizaga. Nick's one of those guys like Dalton talked about earlier. After every practice, after every game, I'm getting a message. What can I do? How can I be better? How can I help? How can I get on the field? All those sorts of things. And as a coach, you just love to hear it because I know when he gets his opportunity, he's going to do something with it. Senior night, given his opportunity, does something with it, right? Has probably one of the best runs that we had all year out of our backfield. Scores a touchdown. I hope it's on your highlight tape. Yeah? Yeah, on the highlight tape. So, Nick, Arzani. Gerardo. Yeah. We talk about glue guys on the team, right? And Gerardo's definitely a glue guy. He's a guy that I could always point to and say, do it how he's doing it. Whatever he's doing it right. And you guys should all do it his way, right? And he helped keep the backfield in check, right? Rules are the rules, right? Standard is the standard. He helped keep those guys in check, make sure that we're getting our loafs in, make sure that we're not loafing. But the thing that I love most about him is no matter what he does, everything he does, full effort, 100 miles an hour. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be running the football. It could be blocking. It could be running a route and trying to catch the football. Tarver wouldn't throw us the ball, but we were pretty good. Pretty good. Everything he does, though, is 100%, and you love to see it, and I know it will serve him very, very well later on in life, man. Gerardo. Last one, Jack. Jack's kind of special for me because, like I said, I coached that freshman team last year. So anytime you hear anything about these sophomores on the varsity program or the sophomores that are playing varsity, right, I had them last year, and they all kind of hold a special place in my heart because they were the first class that I came in here with and the first team that I coached. And so I got to spend a lot of time with Jack last year. He didn't start as a running back, right? He started as a safety for us. Got about halfway through the season, needed a running back. One of the other coaches told me, hey, put Jack in. Jack played running back last year. Put Jack in. Put him in, and the rest is kind of history. He easily, and the only reason he didn't is because he had some seniors ahead of him, but he easily could have started this year. Easily could have been a 1,000-yard back, and I have zero doubt that he will be a 1,000-yard back next year and the years to follow, and he's going to continue the long line, the long tradition of great running backs that come out of this high school. And he's going to make his teammates, his coaching staff, his family, all of us, going to make us very, very proud. Jack.
All right. Steinley, Todd, Bandauer. We have a great quarterback coach to quarterback ratio. One of the best there is. We're going to bring up our quarterbacks. Griff, Justin, you guys can probably start heading on up too.
All right. Hey, I need Griffin. Justin, come on up, guys. Hey, first of all, it's great to be here. Honor our seniors and the guys who've done such good work. Hey, guys, you can move over a little bit. It's okay. Hey, it's about the beginning of June, and I looked at the quarterback situation. We had one quarterback for two programs, JV varsity. And it didn't take calculus to figure out we need somebody else. So we're at practice. I remember right before we went down to UNC, and I said, him, right there. Talked to Griffin. I said, hey, would you mind coming over here playing quarterback? He's a baseball kid, throws the ball really well. Griffin has one gear. and that's full speed. A couple other things about Griffin is I would say, and no offense here, Coach Yum, but in the 3 months, June, July, and August, he improved more than any quarterback I ever had. By the way, Coach Yum was a 2-year All-State for me back in 05 and 06. So you improved more than anybody I've ever had. So congrats there. So, hey, give him a hand on that, man. Like I mentioned, Griffin has one gear. He started QB for JV, played 5-6 games. When we would have our coaching meetings Monday morning, people say, who do we need to get on the varsity field? And Griffin started to take some reps in the secondary. And unfortunately, I think that was the week you turned your ankle. And thank goodness we got him back for the last game. He was able to play the JV game down at Lutheran, and then also played quite a few snaps against Boulder. So, hey, congrats there, Griffin. Looking forward to you. And by the way, is a sophomore. So give him a hand. All right. How many of you out there have had a kid go to college? Go ahead and raise your hand. Yeah. Hey, when they've been gone 1, 2, 3 months, they come back. They look different, right? They've matured. They've been living in a shoebox with somebody else. And when they come home, they have a little different look because they've grown up. We put Justin in a tough spot, and he responded in every way. Justin also is a sophomore. I got to know him last year. He showed up every day in the summer. His dad kind of made sure of that, right, Steve? And he showed up every day in the summer and worked his butt off. This year, hey, it was tough. We played some really good teams. I mean, that secondary we played from Columbine was as good as we've ever played. And Justin threw for over 2,000 yards this year, kept his head up. The thing I was most proud of him about was the last game. We played Boulder, all smiles, did what you had to do. And, hey, between these two guys, we're in great shape at quarterback. So, Justin Cranford, great job, Justin.
Okay, so I've already gotten 2 hugs, so I'm going to get a third one now. So thanks. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Coach Yem, Coach Steinley, for letting me join a couple games into the season. Thanks to the coaches. It was always the highlight of my week, Thursday night going to Crazy Carl's. It was so much fun every week. I really enjoyed that. I really appreciated you letting me come in and, I guess say a few things. So I guess what I want to say first is, man, I love football. Football is the greatest freaking sport there is. It is an awesome sport because it is a team sport, and everybody has to do their job in order to win. The other thing is it's like life compressed. It happens, you have to face adversity. You have elation when you win a game like we did against Fossil Ridge. And, what I liked most about this season is, we were 2-8. There was no attitude problems on this season. I mean, it was amazing. And, like Coach Tarver was talking about, at the end of the year, we're throwing the balls around before the Boulder game. That was fun. And I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to miss all of you seniors. I'm especially going to miss Joe and Trenton and DeMarco. We spent a lot of time together. I know these guys are going to miss you guys. I mean, it's quite a lot of offense walking out the door next year. Thank you for coming back, Levi. So anyway, I just want to say that. The other thing is winning is about culture. And culture doesn't just magically happen. You got to work at it. And that means I know a lot of you guys are playing another sport next year, right now, playing baseball, or playing wrestling, playing basketball. Some of you are going to play baseball. That's great. If you're not playing a sport, get your butt in the weight room. Okay, Daniel, get your butt in the weight room. Truett, get your butt in the weight room. Okay? Hey, we're not, you want to win in September and October? You got to win in January. You got to win in December. So get your butt there. So anyway, all right. So now talk about these guys real quick. Playing quarterback position is the hardest position in all sports. There's no doubt about it. It's a very complicated position. You have to call the plays. You got to know what everybody's doing. Of course, you get a lot of times you get the glory, but a lot of times you get the blame. And it's very difficult. And Justin, we put a lot on your shoulders this year. And it was not easy. But 62% completion percentage, 2,130 yards passing, 14 touchdowns. That's a pretty damn good year for a sophomore. So I think the future is bright for you in this position. Just like I was calling out a couple of guys here, you got to be a leader in the offseason too, because we want to win championships here. We like having fun during the during the banquet, but damn it, I want to celebrate a conference championship next year, and I want to celebrate a state freaking championship here. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to do here, right? So it's going to take some off-season work, and I know that you could do it. You had some excellent games, some tremendous football throws, like that throw to Joe against Rocky with the guy in your face was tremendous. But one of the plays that I really like is you threw a pick against Mountain Vista, and you ran that guy down. That was awesome. Like, that's the kind of attitude that we need. You know, when we're at adversity, like, do not quit. And I really appreciate that. So great job this year, Justin. So, and then I'll be real quick. I was here for 80% of the season, so I get 80% of Tarver's time. So I'll be really quick here. So Griffin, it's been an absolute pleasure to coach you this year. You know, you're obviously a great leader on the ball field. That's why you got the PAC award for JV. And you know, running around, throwing touchdown passes in JV games was just awesome to watch you play. You missed a lot of games. And I think every week you were like, I'm going to come back this week, coach. And I'm like, high ankle sprain, dude. It's going to take like 4 or 5 weeks. Actually, I said you're probably done for the year. But you came back, and that is just a true testament to your toughness and willingness to sacrifice for the team. So anyway, great job. We're going to find a way to get you on the field this year. It might not be quarterback, might be a receiver, might be a safety. But we're going to find a way to get your butt on the field more this year.
All right, our last position group before we move on to some other stuff, our defensive backs, Coach Fulton and Coach Cranford. Let's have Finn, Perry, Derek, Jordan Granados, Joel, and Nolan head on up.
Greetings to everybody. My name is Jeff Fulton. I'm glad to be here. I want to thank my partner, Mr. Steve Cranford, first of all, because it's always best to have 2 DB coaches. It's always wonderful. Finn O'Mara is part of our group because we're projecting him to compete for a starting job next year in the secondary. We know he played a lot of special teams, and he was very valuable at that level. Finn, get after it. Let's go get some playing time next year. Please welcome Finn to the stage. Our second award winner tonight, I want to start by introducing Perry Archuleta, who was honorable mention academic All-State. Congratulations on that for sure. Perry is fantastic, earned a starting job in the first week of the first game. and never really lost it, but I never lost the job until week 10, when, as a coaching staff on the defensive side, we asked Perry to not start so we could honor Mr. Jordan Granados, who's a senior, and Perry never blinked twice. To his mom and dad, that is one great human being, because he was willing to sacrifice his status in the program to honor a senior who's leaving us. And so, Perry, I commend you. Derek Castaneda, also honorable mention, academic All-State. Congratulations, young man. In learning about Derek, the one thing I can say is he is a very competitive young man who values his playing time, and we value that in you, because every play matters, every game matters, every rep matters, and I know that at times you wanted more, but you were able to adjust, and the sky's the limit for you, sir, okay? Perfect. Our next DB that we're introducing is Jordan Granados. Jordan is a senior. Jordan, I must tell everybody out in front here that when we're rotating DBs in the secondary during practice, whether it's 7-on-7 or 9-on-7 or whatever, him and I would have some sidebar conversations, and you'll laugh because Jordan and I got involved in conversations about whether or not each of us could have been good cavemen a million years ago. That was one of our conversations. And we analyzed that, we looked at that, and we decided that the old man would not, but Jordan could clearly dominate the wilderness as a caveman. So I appreciate you, young man. Nolan Migdal. Nolan. Let me be first to tell you, first team, academic All-State. Congratulations, young man. The consummate leader, banged up competitor, was hurting, sometimes wouldn't tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth because he valued that playing time so much. But when he had to surrender to a slight injury or a banged up, he did that because he understood the value of a team. One of the highest level competitors I've ever been around. Animated, vocal, animated is a compliment, my friend. Vocal, and winning mattered to him at all levels. And so I appreciate you, sir. And our final recipient tonight, Joel Lopez, honorable mention, academic All-State. First team All-Conference. He was truly a coach on the field. He knew the checks, he knew the coverages. When we went to a different scheme, he was able to communicate it to his partners. His ability to tackle in the open field is something that I almost have never seen before. I commend you we have a slogan in our tackling drills, eyes in the thighs. And Joel mastered that technique quickly. To our underclassmen, please copy Joel on his tackling skills. And when he made that tackle on 4th down against that school down south, if you know what I mean, on that 4th down at midfield, that was as textbook as it could have been. And then about 5 or 6 plays later, the field goal. And yeah, for sure. And what he did is elevate our program almost single-handedly on those 2 plays. Not more important than other players, but he elevated the program on that night because nobody except the gentleman in this room thought that could happen. So I commend you as well. I also, go ahead, shake hands. Yes, please. I also want the underclassmen especially to realize the best part of all this is relationships. Yeah, it's great to be academic All-State, and it's great to be first team All-Conference, and congratulations. Sioux Falls is cold. Take some jackets when you go, young man. But look at the relationships in here, and I challenge all of you guys from 9th grade to 12th grade leaving the system, stay in touch with each other because relationships are the single most important thing you have in this world, okay? Thank you very much, Coach Cranny. Anything?
All right, we're going to move on to just a few of our bigger awards here as we are still fairly ahead of time, but we'll get through this. The first award we are going to give out is the Greg Mount Lineman of the Year Award. Greg Mount was an offensive line coach for us in the mid-2010s and was just a wonderful man. One of the funniest human beings you've ever met, but just like Coach Fulton talked about, is the relationships he built with the players on the team was very, very special. We sadly lost Greg Mount to a long fight with cancer some years back, and we thought it would be a great testament to his honor to name the Lineman of the Year award after him. So it is a very great special honor to give out to him because he was such a wonderful, wonderful man. This year, our Greg Mount Lineman of the Year award winner is a sophomore, and a sophomore who has a very, very high ceiling, who is also already getting attention. As we previously mentioned, he's already gotten a Division I football offer. He's been spoken about eating food off the floor and eating a lot of candy, but he brings a lot more to the table than that. He brings a ferociousness to the field. In the hallway, he's warm and smiling and laughing and having a good time, but when you put him in between those hashes, if you're a defensive lineman, you got to watch out because the way he plays football is very aggressive, and it's the way it's supposed to be played. We're really excited to see where you take it, and it's going to require a lot more hard work and dedication, but we're extremely proud to honor Greg Mount and the Lineman of the Year award. Give that to Mason Bandauer. Next up, I'm going to bring up Coach Grauberg again to give out our Special Teams MVP award.
First, I'd just like to thank our special teams unit as a group. You guys were electric this year. I really, I got in arguments with Coach Cooper about it. I didn't leave anybody off the special teams. I wanted everybody that would get the job done. Special shout out to Joel and Levi. You guys made me look like a really good coach when sometimes I didn't know what I was doing. It was just a guess, but you guys are special athletes. As far as our special teams MVP, he's a sophomore. If there was a tackle to be made on special teams, he made it. He came into work every day. He has such a bright future. Caden Souders, come on up here, please. Just a little bit more about Caden. He, played 70 snaps on defense every single day, every single game. I put him on the 4-core special teams. He didn't complain one time. And that shows who he is as a Lambkin and as a teammate. So give it up one more time for Caden.
All right, next I'm going to bring up Coach Shee and Coach Cooper to talk about our 2 varsity pack award winners.
All right, so this is the second pack award I get to give out, which is awesome, right? Like I said before, this award is for the dude, not necessarily the best player, the guy scoring all the touchdowns, but the guy that's doing everything right, the guy that's competing the way that you want your football team to compete. Already brought this guy up before. I always said he's going to give 100% in everything he does. 100% in life, 100% running, 100% blocking, all those sorts of things, right? And it will serve you. It will. You're going to have a great, great future, all right? Gerardo.
So we have one other pack award, and it's like Rashid said. This is a player who spoke with his actions. You couldn't ask for a better teammate. Everything he did was to help make the team better. Kind of give it away. But after graduation, he wants to go into law enforcement. I'm sure he'll be extremely successful as the guy because he's always available to help. Aaron Estrada.
So earlier tonight, Ryan Little came up here and spoke about us taking more of a stand to be more involved with community service. And that was something while meeting with the booster team over the last couple of years that's very important because, yes, developing these young men into good football players is something that is important to us. We spend so much time and effort into doing that. Trying to mold them into good young men, though, is the most important piece of that. And something that we thought would be a great way of doing that is getting more involved in the community and actually making a real effort into getting out there and making a difference for other people. And a variety of things we did. We went to a number of elementary schools and helped with different functions they had. We helped people with moving. We had youth camps. We had a respite care youth camp. And we also partnered with the respite care team and went on field trips in Old Town and around the community with those kids that took a lot of long hours, a lot of attention, where a lot of our players got to see what some of those people are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. They have a lot of struggles that they go through, and our players are able to see that on a daily basis and interact with them and bring joy to them. And I'm extremely proud of all of you who participated in that. We had one individual, though, who put in the most hours of anybody on our team. And I'm so proud of this player as a player. I'm so proud of this player as a young man. He's somebody who played the tight end position for us. As Coach Fackel had said before, we have a long lineage of wonderful tight ends from Coach Storbo to Josh Leone to Jake Leone. Those all played college football. We currently have Blake Smotherman, who's the starting tight end for the #1 Division II football team in the country that played for us a couple years ago that DeMarco had to sit behind, and Joe Van Meter last year, who was an incredible athlete. And he's been patient. And he's never complained about having to wait his turn to be that tight end and step in and have the leadership role. He's a guy who was a #1 vote getter to be a team captain, which says a lot about his character. But he cares so much about his teammates and obviously so much about the community. And I have so much sadness to see him go after this year. And I've had so much pride of him as a football player and a person. But this award to me speaks volumes to who he is as a young man. And this award in its own right is the most pride I've had for him because it speaks to his unselfishness and who he is. And I'm extremely honored to give our very first Lambkin Community Award to DeMarco Sanchez-Ferguson. All right, another award we're going to give out tonight. Let me grab it. Is an award that's really difficult to get. For me as a head coach, I have a pretty firm stance of freshmen playing with freshmen. From a developmental standpoint, from having success with each other, from a physical maturity, from a mental maturity, emotional maturity, I think it's important to do that. And from time to time, we have circumstances where we have to move freshmen up. And they have to fit that they're going to be physically safe playing at a higher level. They need to have the mental and emotional maturity to play under the lights. And so from time to time, yes, we do bring freshmen up, but it's very rare for them to actually get a chance to letter. And it's even more impressive to be able to say that you've lettered your freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior years. It is a testament to hard work, to dedication, to doing things for your teammates, for doing things right when no one's looking. It's something that's very difficult to do. I know Coach Sheed was one of the few in our football history to be a 4-year letter winner at this school. And we wanted to give a very special award to the one guy in our senior class who accomplished this because it takes so much. And I could go on and on and on about how proud I am of this guy as a young man, as a player. He's one of the most intelligent human beings on our team. He's kind. He's always the first guy that turns stuff in. I'm very proud of this senior class in every way except for their ability to turn in their equipment on time this year. But this guy was there on time. He was always the first guy that would respond when I messaged out to the seniors, the most responsible one of the group, no offense to the rest of you. But the skill set that he has as a young man, I hope will carry forward as a football player at the next level. But I know for sure will take him very far in this life for who he is. And it's the reason why he has earned this 4-year letter award winner, and that is Trenton Price. All right, 4 more. We are going to bring up Coach Tarver for the Offensive MVP Award.
It's more the average human's height. There we go. This could have gone a whole bunch of different ways, guys, in terms of our offensive MVP, but we went with a dude who was one of our captains, who after 10 games was in the top 10 in the state in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. Simply stated, a playmaker, a guy you could rely on, a dude who we knew we could get the ball to and he'd make plays. Had our longest reception of the year, and again was just a pleasure to watch and a pleasure to coach, and definitely made our offense go. And that is Mr. Narantu himself, Joe Cottingham. Quincy, is that right?
I'll bring up Coach Bush for our Defensive MVP award.
First of all, guys, I want to thank you guys for letting me be your defensive coordinator. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really going to miss you seniors. It hit you on a night like tonight that this is probably the last time I'm going to see you guys until you pop in at practice. Since I'm not in the building, I'm not around. Guys, I'll miss you guys. You're the first class that was here when I came here. So you guys are a really important part of my life. So let's get on to the MVP. He plays probably the most difficult position in the defense. He's a safety. We ask a lot of our safeties. We play quarters. They have to be down in the run fit. We spin them down. They have to be down in the run fit. This kid comes off the roof and makes tackles from 10 yards at the line of scrimmage. Coach Fulton talked about him. He tackles the legs, hits with a lot of ferocity. Asked that kid from Windsor. He about knocked him out on the sideline. So he finished the season 15 in the state and all of the state of Colorado in tackles, 5th in 5A, 1st in the conference. He had 112 total tackles, averaged 12.4 a game, 2.5 tackles for loss, a sack, 2 interceptions. One of those was a pick six against a 72-yard pick six against Pooter, a forced fumble, 3 pass defenses, first team all conference. I think the most impressive stat out of all of those is he picked off Coach Yim like 5 times in one practice. Coach Fulton talked about it. He made probably the biggest defensive play of the year against Fossil on a 4th down. That completely changed the momentum of that game, and we went down and won the game. He's leader on the defense. He's not a vocal guy, but he leads by example. I think, and most importantly, he's just a great young man. Our MVP is Joel Lopez.
This next award is the Doc Pike Leadership Award. I'm going to bring up Coach Cooper. The Doc Pike Leadership Award is named after Doc Pike, who was a longtime doctor and trainer for our athletics programs. He was a great athlete here in the 40s and did just a number of wonderful things in our community and for our school. And for that, we've named the Leadership Award after Doc Pike. Coach Cooper.
I think I get to do the Doc Pike Award because I'm the only coach that's been here long enough to remember Doc Pike. This award this year is going to a great vocal leader of our team. He kept everybody up, kept positivity on our team. He was great at celebrating successes of everybody on the team. Was a great celebrator. In a season when it would have been really easy to throw in the towel, he kept everybody positive. His positive spirit was infectious, and it helped the morale of this football team greatly. And most importantly, you're my grandson Bronson's favorite lambkin, so Quincy Elmore.
All right, I have the honor of our last award of the night. It's always hard to do these awards. We get together as a coaching staff and sit down and have long conversations. Sometimes we duke it out and battle it out. But we always come to a vote on who these awards go to. And we wish we could award everyone with a lot of things, but there's certain times when certain guys outshine. And this Lambkin of the Year award is, for the first time, not going to a senior. This is someone we've already talked about a little bit tonight, but he plays football the way it's supposed to be played. And that's just 100% go, 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 go. And from a leadership perspective, we have guys like Quincy who can do it with his actions, but can also do it with his words. But sometimes the best leaders on a team don't say very much. We can say that about Aaron. We can say that about a number of guys in our team's history who don't say much but just get the job done. They do the right thing off the field. This guy's a first-team academic all-state winner. But when he shows up, everyone around just kind of drops their jaw. I have not coached a player like this where you are shocked if the first person takes him down. And you just love the tenacity that they show every day and the leadership they show through their actions and just the kind of human being they are day to day. And I am extremely honored to give this year's Lambkin of the Year award to Levi Hermsen. We have a couple more things tonight. I'm really excited. We have a guest speaker for the first time at our banquet who is just was very, very happy to see who it was when our booster club was able to pull this off and get him here. But very quickly before he comes up, I know seniors, you guys like to do your thing with the coaches. So come on up. Let's be quick. Let's be clean, most importantly. All right. And then we will get to our guest speaker to finish things off for us.
Also, if you could come up here as well. So me and Trennan, we had Yem and Tarv. Yem's up first. So when Yem would bring Maeve, his little baby girl, practices were always the easiest thing ever, to be completely honest. So we decided we're gonna try to give back to her. She would always show up swagged out in a cool outfit, cool sunglasses. So we got. Back.
Bubbles. This goes a long way. Oh,
That's some cool shades, yeah.
Yes. Thank you. She says thank you.
All right, so my favorite memory with Tarv is when he would always go at it with Quincy about being offsides. He always wanted to call flags. Coach Coop, I know you guys had a little bit of a rivalry there. So we decided we were going to get you your own penalty flags.
That's cool.
All right, real quick, I just got some here for Coach Yem to commemorate our win with CSU. It's a little coffee mug.
Keep on, guys.
All right, and then my main person I decided to go for tonight. It really was an easy decision. I was looking at my schedule next year, and I was like, who do I need to butter up going into the next semester? And so I got Steinley. Please come up here. All right. So I did hear Coach Yem mention that Steinley coached him in 06, and that's when I was born. So that's it's kind of a shocker there, but not to say it directly, but you're getting up there, Steinley. So just in case these practices start to get dark, I got a glow-in-the-dark football. I'll let you hold on to that. A couple of other things in here. There's two schools that I really love. The second one being Purdue, which Steinley is a huge fan of, but obviously the best team and my number one college is Notre Dame. So I got a Notre Dame flag for you to go in your room.
Thank you.
All right, and then finally, I have a book. It's over the most boring topic in all of life and one of the most exciting sports. It's physics of football. And so I'll just hand that one to you.
This is cool. Notre Dame one. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I got Coach Cranford, so if you could please come up here. I think you'll like it. Okay, so Coach Cranford, since like summer, has always been encouraging us to get in the gym, and I think he's like 80 years old, but he's pretty ripped for an 80-year-old. So I got him some pre-workout.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm too short. Can I please get Coach Rashid up to the stage? No. So since the beginning of the season, me and Nick, we both noticed that you love your seeds, man. The ranch seeds. Yeah. So we got you a lot.
Oh my God.
And I got you one more thing. So I got you these adult diapers in case you need to use the bathroom while eating your seeds during practice. So yeah, just make sure you don't get diarrhea. So.
Okay, so I selected two coaches. The first one being Coach Grauberger. So if you come up here, please. So whenever someone on the team wore a little too tight of a shirt that was showing the arms a little bit, Coach Grau, he always said, "Where's that shirt from? Baby Gap?" So I got Coach Grau a shirt from Baby Gap. That would fit nice. Okay, and the second coach, Joel and I selected together, Coach Yem. As you guys all know, Coach Yem, he's entering a new phase of his life. New parent, young daughter, and takes some adjusting, some getting used to. So I'm assuming he's having a little trouble with the potty training. So for him to wrap his head around that, I got Yem got him a nice big pack of adult diapers because I know he's still having some trouble with it, and I just want him to get the hang of it.
So there's a second part to that. Coach M is always telling me about our California burritos at our restaurant, Pueblo Viejo. So to put those diapers to use, I got him a gift card where he can get that California burrito. And my second coach that I picked was also Coach Fulton.
So during the season, Coach Fulton would tell us always to stay in our landmarks on the field. So just to remind him that about his landmarks, I got him this like bag that has all of them here. Yeah, just so he remembers them when he's doing his laundry or something.
So the coach I chose was Coach Fackrell. So every day I wore a CU shirt. I would, get I'd get in trouble, and they would want to rip it. So I got Coach Fackrell some CU merch. The first being CU socks, and then I got him. I know you have a girlfriend, so I got you 2 CU wine mugs. Yeah, also, thank you for everything. You grew my knowledge on this game so much from my sophomore year all the way to my senior year. I wouldn't be the tight end I am without you. Thank you so much.
So Aaron, and Carson, we got 3 different coaches, and the first one who can't be here right now is Kransky, and we got him Steelers, and then this gift card. This gift card.
And then our next coach that we would like to have come up is Coach Goop. Oh yeah, now you got it.
Better not be diapers.
So
Am I just holding this bag?
you gotta open the bag.
I gotta open the
You gotta open the bag.
I gotta open it myself, huh? It's challenging.
So we know how much you love this team. So we went and we got you some Texas.
Oh
merch.
yeah, right. That's going right with the CU socks. Texas. Thank you.
Oh,
Here's some flowers for Coach Coop. And
Flowers, thanks.
he's probably gonna hate me after this. But we have this little box right here. And here's this Texas pendant.
Jeez.
And then here's this chain.
A chain to go with it. We'll put this in you too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Flowers.
Thanks for everything, Coach.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We also had Coach Bush, so will you please come up here? Yeah, she wrapped it. So, our first one we have is a little cutting board.
Nice.
Why not? And then we also, since we know how much you love the Chiefs, we got you a book about Taylor Swift so you can get caught up on everything. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Cool. Let's see. You're fine.
All right, I'm really excited about this last part. This is something new for us, and that is to have a guest speaker. As a football coach, what we often do on the weekends is send each other clips of different teams and what they run, and you start to garner respect for other coaches and what they do with their craft. And this is a guy I'm very excited to introduce. His first job was with CSU back in 1987, I believe, and coached with Oklahoma State. He was part of the national championship team with Michigan. Was part of coaching a team with Charles Woodson, a Heisman winner that year, one of my personal all-time favorite players. Coached for the Chicago Bears, won a national championship at the University of Florida, and then has been a defensive coordinator at Louisville. And he might like that pennant you now have, Coach Coop, who's defensive coordinator at Texas as well. It is a great honor, and I thank you for your patience all night, to introduce Vance Bedford to the stage.
I need everybody just to stand up just for a minute, please. You've been sitting for a while, so can you just stand up and just kind of move around? I've been looking around. I've been seeing your eyes a little bit. And parents, just stay standing for me for a minute. First of all, it's an honor for me to be here. I had a chance to watch the players earlier eat pizza, but walking down the hall and to see you there, cheering your kids on and this team and this coaching staff, this is a place I would love to have had the opportunity to play at. So it's been more of an honor for me to sit here and watch how you relate to each other, from the players to the coaches to the players, and the coaches to the coaches. Then to see the parents, the support that you have here. You are successful, guys. It's not about winning and losing. It's about how you work together, the support that you have, the love that you have for each other. There's a lot of people walking these halls saying, oh, you guys didn't do this, you didn't do that. They're not here. Go ahead and have a seat. I think you woke up right now. I mean, to play this game is difficult. I set up in that front row, listen to some of the coaches talk about the work ethic, the time you have to get here, to get in the weight room. You have to sacrifice. If you want to be a football player, an athlete, it takes sacrifice. It takes sacrifices for these coaches to spend time with you, to be mentors, to be role models, to be leaders. And I'm listening to these coaches get up here and talk. They are trying to prepare you for the rest of your life. It's not just about right here at Fort Collins High School. It's about for you seniors. This is your last go-around. How many of you guys can remember when you were a freshman? Time goes really fast, doesn't it? Listen to these coaches tonight. They truly care about you, not just as football players, but as young men. And that's rare. I have high hopes for you guys when you go out and leave this and graduate from the school. I hear about some of you guys going to certain schools from academic scholarships. Man, that's impressive. I wasn't a great student. I didn't like school at all. I graduated. But you know what I had? I had some great coaches that cared about me to help me to develop. Because what I learned about being a football player a long time ago, it was about teamwork. Some of my best friends are still my high school friends. I graduated high school in 1977, so I'm dating myself. And I still go and see those guys, and it was just like yesterday. Football taught me how to work hard, because to be successful in anything in life, it takes hard work. It takes commitment. But more importantly, it takes communication. Being an athlete and working with a team, you learn how to communicate with each other, to communicate with your teachers, to communicate as you go out into the community and doing community service. You guys just don't know. My wife has gotten me involved. I live in Loveland, Colorado. Every Friday morning, I do my community service. We go downtown Loveland at 6 o'clock in the morning and feed the homeless. And it's eye-opening. It makes me take a step back and thank the Lord every day for where I am today, and it's because of football. And you guys have that same opportunity. I think you're special. I think you're successful. For my short time being here and having the opportunity to watch and see how you guys get along and talk to each other and laugh and joke, man, you're successful. The record might say something different, but no. It's not about wins. It's not about losses. It's about what you have learned as a team. The friendships you're going to have for the rest of your lives, guys. I think that's really important. And Coach says it's an honor to have me here and speak. I don't get out and speak too often, to be honest. I'm a retired guy, and I got a call. I say, sure, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I mean, these are young guys, seniors. My hat's off to you. I sat there in 1977. I still remember like it was yesterday. For you underclassmen, time goes really fast. Learn from these guys. You guys still have an opportunity right now to mentor all these young guys in this room. Because what started tonight, the gridiron walk, the walk of champions, you guys are that foundation. You finna make this place special again like it once was. Why? Because of what you did, your parents, the support that you have. You are the foundation to get off board for these guys right here. You should look at these guys and say thank you. Because this is about you and your future and where you want to go and how you want to build this program. Because when they leave here, like Coach said, this group will never be together again. They're going to look back and they're going to say, I'm counting on you to keep things going. This is your legacy. You started this. Take credit for it. Because next year, when this team steps out there and win the conference, it's because of the things that you did. The sacrifices you made, you taught them how to work, how to fight, how not to quit. I listened to the coaches talk in the last ball game. It was a battle, and you know what you guys didn't do? A lot of people with a record where you were, they would have quit. You guys kept fighting. You showed a lot of heart, a lot of commitment, a lot of love and care for each other. That is special. That can never be taken away from anybody sitting in this room. Something to go forward on, something to build on. I'm gonna be looking for you guys next year. I got a team now in Fort Collins I can follow. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys fight. I plan to come to a game and watch you guys. I don't want any excuses. Coach said, get in the weight room, what's holding your back? Why don't you want to be the best? Why don't you want to be great? What's holding you back? What is holding you back from being special? This is the oldest school in Fort Collins, Colorado. The foundation. This football team should be the foundation. You should be leading this city right now. People should be looking at Fort Collins High School as not just the best academic school, the best football team in the city and in the state. Why not you? What's holding you back? You are. Only thing holding you back is you. Make that commitment to step out and say, hey, we're going to take this to the next step. Underclassmen, you're going to be sitting there one of these days, 1 year from now, 2 years from now. Don't take it for granted where you are. Time goes fast. Like I said, in 1977, I graduated high school, 1977. Sometimes I think, man, I wish I could go back. I had a great time. I enjoyed the ride. I enjoyed my friends. I call some of my friends, they're like my family right now. We talk all the time, sometimes once or twice a week. Those bonds never go away. You can't get back tomorrow. You got to live for the day. Make today special. I want to challenge you guys this. Start each day, starting tomorrow, with a task or a goal. When I was your age, my mom said, make up the bed. I didn't make up my bed. I was a pretty sorry young man. But when I got in the real world, had my own apartment, and I come home, my bed wasn't made up, I'm like, I didn't like this. So now, Even though I've been married for 33 years, but before I got married, I made my bed up because that was the start of my day. That's the first goal I achieved. Because in life, you have to set goals. So when I came home, whether I had a good day or bad day, I had a bed that was made. I came home and I felt good no matter what happened because I accomplished something that day. The little things in life matters. If you don't take care of the little things, it's like little cuts. And they wear you out, and they wear you down. So accomplish something every single day. Find someone to mentor you. I've had a lot of mentors along the way, guys who have guided me. My first job as a football coach was a guy my father coached in high school. He gave him his first job. When I got into coaching, he helped me get my first job. He's been a mentor all my life. I got a friend here in town, Steve Zabo. The reason I got to the University of Michigan in 1995, he called the head coach, said, you have to interview this guy. He didn't know me from Adam, but it was up for me to get the job. But he was a mentor and a friend. So find someone, seniors, I'm putting you to the task. Be a mentor to these young guys while you're still here. And when you leave, call and check on them. They're going to need you. Respect everyone. When I was in high school as a junior, I used to be in a work-study program. And some of the wisest guys on campus were the janitors. We had one guy named Reb. He was a pastor. I used to listen to the wisdom that he gave me. And when I became a coach, one of the first people, when I walked into the school to recruit, I go talk to the janitor. The janitor know all about you guys. He know you guys don't pick up after yourselves. As he walk in the hall, a lot of times you ignore that person. That person knows everything that goes on to the school. So when I was a recruiter, I go find the janitor. He gave me all the information I need. So you need to respect everybody in life because you never know who they are and what they can do for you. And don't compare yourself to other people. I had an opportunity to coach Charles Woodson. He won a Heisman Trophy. First defensive player to do that. And I always told Coach Carr, was my boss, let's not compare anybody to him because you're setting the standards way too low. You have no idea how great you can possibly be. So don't compare yourself to what other people think you should be, or how people look at you. Compare yourself to who you should be. Reach for the sky all the time. If you do that, you have the potential to be great one day. And being 65 years old, I've been fired, rehired, retained, fired. Sometimes you're going to get hit in the face. Life is not fair. But the foundation, your parents, your coaches, and the things you learn here, it helps you keep going forward. I've been injured. I've had 70 operations. Knee replacement 3 years ago, but nothing's ever slowed me down. My senior year in college, injured my knee in the first ball game. You remember those things. Kept moving forward. I kept working. I stayed committed. So sometimes when you get hit in the face, keep moving forward. If your foundation's strong, you're going to be okay in life. But I got this poem I want to read. Coach, you told me don't take too long, so I'm not going to take too long. It says, personal accountability, the man in the glass. I'm pretty certain the coaches probably heard this before. When you get what you want in your struggles for self, and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what the man has to say. For it's not your father or mother whose judgment upon you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. You may be like Jack Horner and chisel a plum and think you're a wonderful guy. But the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. He's a fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear to the end, and you pass your most dangerous, difficult test if the man in the glass is your friend. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of years and get past in the back as you pass, but your final reward would be heartache and tears if you cheated the man in the glass. So every time you get up and you look in that mirror, you can fool a lot of people, but you can't fool yourself. Strive to be different. Strive to be special. Strive to be the best individual you can ever be. When I hear coaches get up here saying, get in the weight room, there's nothing holding you back. You say you want to be all conference, what's holding you back? The man in the glass. You can fool a lot of people, but you can't fool yourself. And lastly, what do you want this team and teammates to be remembered for? What I saw tonight, I truly enjoyed myself. I have high hopes for this football team. I think you have a chance to be special next year. If you decide to make that commitment, and I'll challenge you one more thing before I step down. Starting tomorrow, I challenge you in everything you do as young men to give 100% in everything you do. If that means in the classroom, you're giving 100%. If you're in the weight room, you're giving 100%. If mom say, take out the trash, you're giving 100%. The next day, give me 100%. If coach said we're supposed to be in the weight room at 6 o'clock, why are you not in there at 5:45? Give me 100%. And then that grows, become contagious. If you're giving 100% like that, do you know you just became a self-motivator? You have motivated yourself to be special, to take that step above, to be champions. That's what champions are. They give 100%. When nobody's looking, they give 100%. Coach, I really appreciate your time for having me here. I think I've enjoyed this more than anyone in this room, sitting back, just watching and listening to the coaches talk about the players, vice versa, for the parents. I had chills walking down that hall. This is a special place. Young men, make it really special next year. And for you seniors going out, God bless you. Keep moving forward. If you get hit in the face, keep moving forward. The foundation that you learn from coach is in you. Don't let anything stop you. If it's a wall in front of you, that's called adversity, you find a way. Get around it, over it, under it, or through it, and you keep moving forward. Because you're going to make your mom, your dad, Fort Collins High School very proud. Once again, Coach, thank you. I appreciate your time, and I wish you the best of luck.
There's no following that. Thank you all so much for tonight. Feel free to stick around, take some pictures for a short bit, and let's make sure we clean this place up all right. Thank you all so much.